Mr. Clash, sorry, I couldn't let you in here. That lifeguard scared the crap out of me. I don't know if I'll ever trust a robot again. No offense. That's not the worst thing I've been told. So, is that it then? Yeah, I think so. Get some rest, okay? Will do. I rejoined Clash in the hallway. Looks like our friends are more connected to this than they let on. We better have ourselves another chat with each of them. Who do you want to talk to now? Let's see, let's talk to Grace some more. Hopefully we'll get along better this time. I doubt it will happen, but I can still hope. We go back to the research center. Dr. Grace is jotting down notes from a textbook. Oh, it's you two. What have you been up to since we last spoke? We were checking up on your friend, Julius Zander. Oh. Her smile falters ever so slightly. He's recovered already. He took a steel punch to the jaw surprisingly well. He always was a hardy fellow. Any reason you didn't tell us you knew the victim? Of course I had a good reason. I didn't think that was important. That's bull and you know it. Look, I didn't want our connection to be made known. If word gets out that my friend and I just so happened to get a job on the same high-tech boat, they might suspect that I pulled some strings to get him on board. Did you? Dr. Brace completely ignores the question and continues. Not to mention the fact that we talk about our jobs with each other, our bosses might assume that we've been sharing department secrets. Have you? Again, Dr. Grace ignores the question. Please, Moira Gizem, you can't let this leave this room. How does she know my name? I have like a name tag on? My job is on the line here. You've been ignoring my questions, Doctor. Dr. Grace is still fully focused on me. Answer Clash's questions, please. She finally stops looking at me and instead looks at Clash. What were the questions again? Did you pull strings to get your robotics and training friend on board? And have the two of you been sharing department secrets with each other? I mean, more specifically, how about the robots on board? I remember that Julia said he and Dr. Grace had been teaching each other about their jobs. But could Dr. Grace really have learned so much in such a short time? She's not going to answer these questions. Much to my surprise, Dr. Grace begins to cry. It's not a gentle or graceful cry, but full-blown gasping sobs. I have nothing to do with this. None of this is my fault. I cannot believe it be suspected of... I didn't say anything about suspecting you. I just need some answers to find the real culprit. I'm as terrified as anyone else on board. Why don't you talk to that hacker that was harassing me? Or those TV head freaks serving drinks on the deck? Just leave me alone. Ma'am, answer my questions. You need to leave. I refuse to answer any more questions, and if you don't leave right now, I'll have you confiscated. So get out. Yep, not answering those questions. Sus. She's some kind of hacktivist. Maybe she works for Silas. Dr. Grace returns to her work still sobbing. I step forward to say something else, but Clash stops me. We're done here. Reluctantly, I follow Clash back outside, leaving the panicking Dr. Grace to her anxiety. So, what are your thoughts on that little display? She's pretty suspicious. That's what I was thinking. Either that or she's naturally a ball of anxiety, which would make her seem very suspicious when she actually isn't. Either way, that's a very interesting reaction from her. Definitely keep her in mind as we carry out the rest of our investigation. Who do you want to talk to now? Let's see. Let's talk to the waiter again. There better not be any clients harassing our waiter friend right now. We go back to the waiter's charging station. A waiter watches us. I was expecting you. So you're the same gentle bot we were interviewing earlier? Yes, did you speak with Mr. Zander? Just a little while ago, actually. Good, then my coworker got my message to you. I was concerned that it would get held up by other clients. I've heard you're getting some interesting clients yourself. Indeed. Let us avoid beating around the bush then. You are here to ask me about my interesting clients, so go ahead. Let's see, what's up with Julian? The waiter tries to respond, but his voice is just a garbled static. Uh-oh. He seems surprised by this. Unexpected. Sounds like someone put a lock on you. A what? A programming lock. They prevent robots from blabbing about confidential matters. Gosh, why didn't they put one on you about this case? No idea. Glad they didn't, though. Would have been able to hire the best assistant in the world if they had. You are quite the kiss-up. Quiet. Let me try something else. Yes, I know Mr. Xander, Dr. Grace, and Officer Glenn. We did not talk about the weather. We did not talk about the terrible job the human janitors have done with the restrooms in the D-Wing. We did not talk about... Again, his voice is just noise. I am concerned and embarrassed. Not only am I unable to speak directly of it, but I cannot speak indirectly of it either. Try writing it down. The waiter picks up a notepad and tries writing his message. It just looks like abstract lines. Would now be a good time to mention that I am not dexterous with a pencil. Yeah, a lot of robots aren't. It was worth a shot. So, you know about Dr. Grace, Officer Glenn, and Mr. Xander, but you aren't allowed to share any details about it. Someone on this boat does not want me sharing details about them. We'll have to go elsewhere for answers then. Prudent. Whatever it is, looks like we can't get anything else out of you. I wish I could have been of more assistance. We return to the deck. Poor guy, looks like he's a victim himself. Either that or he's trying to dodge suspicion. Whatever the reason, we can't or won't get anything else out of him. You're giving up on him that easily? I'm not giving up. If it is a lock, then he won't be able to say anything. Might even fry his circuits trying to brute force a bypass. If it's not a lock, then he's proven that he's not going to let anything out. Not without any hacking, anyway. And I'm not going to risk him with Jasper. Either way, our chances of getting anything out of him would go from small to none. We might as well check on the others. Who do you want to talk to now? Let's see. Jasper has some explaining to do. Ah, yes, our hacker friend. He better behave himself. We return to Jasper's cabin. He gives me a huge, goofy grin when he sees me. You're back. Just checking up on your progress. It's progressing. Good. There's an awkward silence. There's something else, isn't there? Why were you talking to Dr. Grace, asshole? Oh, you heard about that, huh? Look, it was about something that I'd found. I was trying to get in touch with Julian about it, but I couldn't get a hold of him. I know Doc and Julian hung out a lot, so I was telling her to tell him. Also, I tried to ask her on a date. What did you find out? There's a serious vulnerability. I found a vulnerability in the robots. I took the liberty to come up with the patch. The rest of the robotics department won't listen to me about anything, so I thought Julian could apply the patch. You didn't mention this vulnerability earlier. Yeah, I was slightly distracted. He says this while looking at me. I try not to meet his eyes. I remembered shortly after you guys left, and I was going to track you down and tell you, but I didn't want to leave the decryptor unattended. Also, sometimes I get really seasick when I'm outside. Inside and looking out the window, I'm fine. Strange. Yeah, I don't get it either. Getting us back on track, what was this vulnerability anyway? A backdoor that can allow someone to edit an individual robot's code. The robots can't be updated individually? Not usually. Most of the time, orders are uploaded to the network and then distributed to each robot. The method they use allows the robotics to catch any unauthorized updates. But with this backdoor, someone could just update them to their liking. Oh. Can I go back? But with this backdoor, someone could just update them to their liking. Pretty much. Might explain why Silas has been able to hack stuff. Why would an AI need help? The magic of robot logic. With the right security measures, an AI would be easily tricked and foiled. But if any human with even a basic knowledge of these bots unlocked the back door, Silas could easily upload his overwrite. Well, shit. That's the first time I've heard Clash swear so hard. This keeps getting worse. Clash waves goodbye to Jasper and then steps outside. He looks upset. I wonder why. I detect sarcasm. You're great at detecting the obvious. Stop. Anyway, I better catch up to him. Hey, let me go back. He looks upset. Huh. I wonder why. I detect sarcasm. You're great at detecting the obvious. Stop. Anyway, I better catch up to him. Hey, before you go, one more thing. What's up? Be careful around Dr. Grace. You suspect her? She knows way more about robotics than she lets on. I don't have anything solid, but I've seen her record. But what I've seen of her records doesn't line up with what she says. You've been doing some snooping of your own. Hackers gotta hack. I leave Jasper to his work. I rejoin Clash on the deck. He stares out over the sea. So, the culprit is definitely on board, allowing Silas to slowly take over robots. Jasper told me some stuff you may want to know. Like what? I quickly filled Clash in on what Jasper had said. Clash doesn't say anything else, but I could tell he's thinking. Well, keep an eye on them. For now, let's continue our investigation. Who do you want to talk to now? Let's see. I think Officer Glenn owes us some answers. I will say, he isn't this nasty to everyone. Just robots and assistants to robots. Clash walks me back to my cabin. As soon as I enter my room, I fall into bed. The last thing I see before I fall asleep is his silhouette as he stands by the window, watching the sea. I awake at midnight. I have a terrible feeling, almost as if someone is watching me. I look around for Clash. He sits in the chair by the bed, catches my gaze. You feel that too? I nod. Stay low. I pull the blankets around my shoulders. I hold my breath, listening. Someone is right outside the door. Clash quietly stands from the chair. He makes his way to a corner, hidden from the door. The door slowly creaks open. An imposing figure slowly enters the room. It's the robot! It's the robot with the blood all over him. It moves with robotic grace. I suddenly realize that I'm looking at the lifeguard, the rogue lifeguard from earlier. It has returned, and it's now standing in my room. I don't need to scream for Clash. He's right there. I'll play dead. He told me to stay low. I lay as still as I can. I try to close my eyes and pretend that I'm asleep, but I am too afraid. I look over at Clash. I hadn't noticed him grab the lamp from the nightstand, but he now wields it like a club. Clash brings the lamp down over the lifeguard's head. Kaboom! But the lifeguard sees him, grabbing Chase's hand. Please do not be upset, robot detective. Upset? That's putting it mildly. What are you doing in here anyway? I punched you overboard. I swam back. What a straightforward reply. Your attack cleared my mind and brought me back to my senses. I want to help you. How can we trust you? I have not attacked you again. Fair enough. Robot detective, what do you know about Silas? He's hacking robots to cause chaos on this boat. Do you know who is making us more vulnerable to his attacks? No. Lots of suspects, no confirmations. Then I will give you that confirmation. The researcher. Dr. Grace? She convinced her friend to teach her about our inner workings. One evening, she caught me alone and fiddled with my code. He got fiddled. That's probably bad. By the time I realized what she had done, it was too late. And that's why she freaked out the way she did when we confronted her. But why is she working with Silas? I do not know. You would have to ask her. I think we need to have another chat with our friend. It is too late. The lifeguard turns and points to the open door. The night is foggy and it's hard to see anything, but the lifeguard's next words cause my stomach to drop. Silas is here. Flash and I step closer to the door. We peer through the fog to see what the lifeguard is pointing at. At first, we think we are staring at distant lights across the ocean. Then, with a feeling of dread, we realize the bright lights are not far away. They are dimmed and right next to us. We crane our necks to look at the huge vessel. Blood and oil cake its exterior. The crane on its back jerks around like a broken marionette. It's far too silent for such a vessel, until it lets loose a thunderous horn. Ooga. Ooga. A horn that sounds like the siren call of death itself. The memories of machinery has arrived. Passengers leave their cabins in a panic, only to be caught by the vessel's claw. They are crushed and smeared against the boat's deck. I can hear screaming, so much screaming. Jeez Louise. Flash pulls me back inside. We have to help those people. I think it's a little late for them. We'll do what we can to stop the memories. Save everyone else that we can. I will protect as many lives as I can. Any suggestions for how we can get over there? Grab the crane as it lowers. Jump off when it reaches the other side. Don't get crushed. That sounds stupid. Agreed, but it's all we got. Let's go, Moira Gizem. We rush outside, chasing the crane's claw. Ooh, the next time it crashes onto the deck, Flash grabs me around the waist and takes a flying leap onto its side. We narrowly miss getting crushed. Flash manages to hold on to both the crane and myself as it carries its payload back to the memories. As it lowers to smear the bodies onto its deck, Clash lets go. Once we have touched the deck of the memories, he releases my waist. I try not to look at the broken corpses as we rush to the bridge. Doors open and close, guiding us through the innards of the ship. Silas is allowing us to reach him, but why? Perhaps whoever is controlling him wants to confront us. Finally, we stand on the bridge. The center of the room hosts a cylinder that hums with power. This is the brain of the ship, I'm certain of it. Flash and I look at each other and nod. Give me a hand. Give me a second if I could figure out how this shuts down. At that moment, Jasper Callan runs into the room. Guys, wait! Jasper, what are you doing here? Strike that. How did you get here? Same as you guys. I hitched a ride. And I had to tell you what was on that USB drive. That program was made by Dr. Grace. She's been using this program to get Silas to take over the robots. Just then, a figure wielding a heavy textbook enters the room. The figure uses the textbook to knock Jasper out. It's Dr. Grace. That little prick talks too much, and you two keep sticking your noses where they don't belong. Why would someone as smart as you start a mess like this? Oh, now somebody recognizes my greatness. Well, it's too damn late for that. Is this seriously just a cry for attention? It's a cry for recognition. I was the best in all of my classes, graduated with honors for every single one of my degrees. So, where did all that time and effort and money get me? Backwater libraries in the middle of nowhere. I should have been rubbing elbows and sipping wine with the elite minds of this country. I should have been somebody. Well, now I am indeed somebody. I am somebody who unleashed Silas onto the unsuspecting world. If I can't get fame, then I'll take notoriety. Well, that's an achievement. Thank you. The achievement is that you're the biggest bitch I've ever met. Grace sputters in indignation. Well, what else am I supposed to call you? I have a feeling attention whore would piss you off more. Grace lets out an inarticulate yelp of rage. You just sacrificed hundreds of people to a rogue AI, and you did it for attention. Not some weird moral high ground. Not out of desperation to keep a job. Not even for something as stupid as paying back your college loans. Any other motive would have been more tolerable. And you went with attention. You did all this for attention. How the hell did you manage to reconcile that to yourself? Yeah, you know what? I take it back. Attention whore not only fits you, but you're one of the most extreme versions of an attention whore that I've ever had the displeasure of meeting. You bastard! Grace rushes at Clash, wielding the textbook angrily. She doesn't get to use it, as Clash effortlessly knocks her unconscious with one fantastic slap. Slapped her ass. I hate to hit a lady. Her, though, it was fine. Clash looks at the computing cylinder in the middle of the room. That's definitely Silas's source of power. We need to disable that right now. I doubt Silas will let us shut him down. Can you hack it? My hacking would involve directly interfacing with it, so in the name of not getting hacked, let's say no. I could try hacking it the old-fashioned way, unless you want to give it a try. I noticed Jasper stirring on the floor. So does Clash. And one of us should check on Jasper. He doesn't look too good. Alright, I'm going to try to shut down Silas. Clash kneels down next to Jasper and checks on him. I approach the cylinder. Oh, Jesus. This is a monitor and a keyboard. There is a monitor and a keyboard. The monitor reads, Silas active. Running intelligence assimilation routine. Currently assimilated. 1. Vister microcephalus. 13. Torsiops truncatus. 2. Cogia brevisis. 257 Homo sapiens. Currently targeting Violet Skies, population approximately 3,000. Future target, Glaveston Island, population approximately 50,000. That is not good at all. I tried typing in disable Silas, invalid command. I tried typing in stock assimilation routine, invalid command. I tried typing in shut the hell up, you stupid computer. Rude command. How quaint. I hear Clash approach me and turn away from the monitor. He props up a still somewhat stunned Jasper. Here, this prick might be able to help. You have such a kind way with words. Admittedly, prick was used affectionately this time. Let me at this AI asshole. Jasper's fingertips fly over the keyboard as he frantically types. I can barely keep up with the lines of code he filters into the program. Clash watches in fascination. It's strange to see hacking from this angle. Yeah, typing it probably isn't as efficient as thinking it. It's pretty damn cool, though. Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Clash. Mister? You've earned my respect, sir. Clash beams with joy. And there we go. Suddenly the power shorts out. We got him. Wait, seriously? Silas is no more. The non-computerized backup power system should turn on in 3, 2. The power flickers back on. Okay, my timing was off. Flash double-checks the monitor. He lets out a whistle. Not only did you shut Silas down, but you completely erased any hint of him from the system. Remind me not to get on your bad side. I have no desire to hack you anymore. So that's it? Well, we shut down the computer, and we caught the perpetrator. Seems like case closed to me. You saved the day! Sure would seem like it. Flash nods to me. You did a great job. Then he nods to Jasper. Both of you. But right now, let's get out of here. We need to wrap this up. We leave Silas's silent cylinder behind. We step out onto the deck of the Memories. The sound of chopping blades alerts us to the helicopter circling overhead. Yeah, I might have called the cops before I came to find you. That's funny. I sent a private signal to them right when I saw the Memories. And that's not counting anyone else who called during the attack. No wonder they got here so quickly. The helicopter lands. A somewhat distracted officer approaches us. Flash! Great job cracking the case. I couldn't have done it without my assistance here. Still, you got it done, my man. If they don't give you human rights after this, then I'll eat my hat. Much obliged. By the way, you'll find the perpetrator inside. Flash pulls a USB drive from his temple. Got their entire confession recorded here. The friendly officer takes the USB stick and nods solemnly. Then he goes inside to make an arrest. I'm gonna go over there and see if those officers have any first aid stuff. You still feel bad? Yes. In fact, I'm still in excruciating pain. Poor guy. Jasper limps over to the other officers. I look at Clash, thinking about something he just revealed. You've been recording everything? Yes. I transferred the footage I collected that was important to the case to that drive. The rest I've kept for myself. This was a huge learning experience for me, one that I really don't want to forget. What will you do now? Well, first I'm going to head back to the precinct. I'll have to write up a good long report about this. And after that? I'm not sure, honestly. Maybe I'll stick with the precinct a while longer. Maybe I'll take advantage of my new rights and start my own agency. Whatever I do, I want to keep helping people. Sounds like a great plan. Oh, that reminds me. How would you like a new job? Doing what? Working as my assistant full-time. Really? Of course. I've been paying attention to how you've been handling yourself during this case. Overall, you tried to handle yourself with maturity and compassion. I can't think of anyone else I'd like by my side. I smile at Clash's statement. I mean, as a business partner. Yeah, that sounded unintentionally romantic now that I think about it. Anyway, what do you say? I'd love to keep working for you. Fantastic. Give me some time to get some strings pulled. I'll give you a call once I'm ready for you. In the meantime, I've got a case to wrap up, and you have the rest of your vacation to enjoy. It's been nice working with you, Moira Gizem. Flash reaches out to shake my hand. Let's see, shake his hand, don't shake his hand. Give him a big ol' hug. The thought of this being goodbye, even if I might see him again soon, is just too much. I quickly wrap him in a big hug. He almost loses his balance in surprise, but he soon returns my hug. He rests his chin on my shoulder and speaks softly in my ear. You've got a good heart. Don't let that go. I pull back and smile at him. I get the sense he's grinning through tears. Clash escorts me back to the violet skies. He tips his hat to me respectfully before boarding the helicopter. I watch him go until the helicopter is out of sight. I make my way back to the cabin. The crew is trying to fix what Silas destroyed before we return to port. It will probably take another day or so before we get back. I lay down on my bed and close my eyes, trying to empty my mind and go back to sleep. But all I can see in my mind's eye is Clash, intimidating culprits like a protective big brother, cracking one-liners and showing surprising wisdom. I'd never met a robot like him before. I don't know if I'll ever meet anyone else like him. I'm so glad that we parted on such good terms. At the end of the day, I'm so grateful that I met Clash, the robot detective. So cute. Look at him with his big lens eyeball. I liked it. That was good. Yeah. And there's other episodes to play. If anybody wants to play them. I think you should. Because that was awesome.